Very good evening to you from the sports desk. Let's start here. The 30th edition of the People's Race is ready and will take place on the 30th of November 2025. The Soweto Marathon non-profit company is carrying the race on behalf of the Soweto Athletics Clubs and has confirmed that all is on track with the race organizing team, race office, partners and sponsors remaining committed to the hugely successful marathon, which is the biggest country's one-day road race. Joining us to speak more on this is Soweto Marathon spokesperson Jabu Mbuli. Jabu, a very good evening and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening to you, Gwen, and good evening to your viewers as well.
Jabu, I thought maybe let's start by clarifying some of the issues that were surrounding the Soweto Marathon leading up to where we are at the moment. Can we safely say that those issues about ownership, about who should be organizing the race, have been solved and it's all about the race now?
Well, the race has always been organized by the Soweto clubs or is owned by the Soweto clubs. And the same applies to, for the past few years, it was organized by the Soweto Marathon Trust, of which most of our 17 clubs in Soweto are the beneficiary. And when the trust became dysfunctional in 2023, the clubs again came together and said, let us continue hosting the event. Exactly what has been happening since 2023. And in 2025, the same clubs again in Soweto came together again and said, because of there were issues with the P2I that hosted the event for the past 2 years, which is 2023 and 2025 and 2024, we then agreed that as then form a vehicle that will administer the event for the year 2025. And this is also being mindful that perhaps we are still members of the SM of Soweto Marathon Trust, but we are saying because of it is dysfunctional, and until all the issues that we have with the Soweto Marathon Trust are resolved, we will then continue as clubs host the event. That is why now we're using the vehicle of the non-profit company.
So there are still those issues, albeit, if I'm hearing you, they will not be affecting the race this time in terms of preparation and organization.
No, they won't be affecting the race because of we've always had issues even before, but they won't be affecting the race because of now this is a race that is in the CJ calendar, is also in the ESA calendar as well as the World Athletics calendar. The race will continue as planned.
Now, how have those issues, Jabu, affected the organizing of this race? Because we were at some point told that the race might not even take place this time around. How have those issues affected you in terms of making sure that this race takes place in 2025?
Unfortunately, with all these issues that are happening or that are being battled in the media space, they definitely affect us as organizers. But behind the scenes, we've been continuously trying to make sure that we continue organizing this event because of it's not about us as administrators of the sport. It's about the people that will be participating at month end of November that will make sure that they can get the opportunity in the Soweto Marathon.
So what is the status of all those other people? I mean, we've spoken to some of them right here on Newzroom Afrika 405, and they gave us the side of the story. What is their status as far as that is concerned?
It's an open secret that the people that have always been on the media space currently, some of them are expelled from athletics, and one has just been currently suspended by Central Gauteng Athletics. And it was very clear, and even just in the month end of August, a directive was again sent to clubs to say it is a reminder that no one must be engaging in athletics issues, especially those that are expelled from running athletics. So those guys that have been expelled are not supposed to be engaging in anything that is athletics related. But unfortunately, as we are in South Africa, they also have the right to say whatever they want to say. But in terms of the law, as we are a law-abiding country and we are not a republic as a country, we follow the rules of the country. South Africa has given a directive that if someone is expelled from athletics, they cannot then administer athletics.
Now, are there any plans to solve these issues? As you said that there have been problems, Jabu, even in the past. And we know that, yes, where we have even had issues that affected just the race itself. Are there plans to solve these issues once and for all? And if so, what are those plans? Because I know there were even issues that were had in court last month. What are the plans to make sure that all these issues are solved and the issues, that we focus on the race itself instead of focusing on issues outside the running of the race?
As the majority clubs of Soweto, we've always been open and say we are willing to ensure that we come to a round table and solve the issue. But unfortunately, there are people that every time when we try to engage, they will always invite the people that are expelled. And as people that, like I said earlier, that when we engage with some of the clubs that have issues about this event, we'll always be saying to them, the guys that have been expelled should not form part of our meetings. For example, the provincial body once called all clubs in Soweto to ensure to find or to make sure that we find common grounds. And the same guys that were expelled were part of that meeting. And unfortunately for them, they were then expelled or asked to recuse themselves from that meeting by the provincial body. That is why we're saying, as well as the majority clubs of Soweto, that we cannot have people that are expelled in the same meetings, but we are always open to negotiate and to ensure that we find common ground as Soweto clubs for the better of athletics.
Let's now focus on the race itself, so you can officially confirm that the race is taking place. Just give us the details of this year's running of the 30th edition of the Soweto Marathon. Jabu?
Yes, sir.
I'm saying that now you confirm that the race is taking place. What are the details? When is it taking place? Any changes to the route, start and end of the race?
The route still remain the same, and people that have been organizing or the race organizing committee is still intact. The route remains the same. And in the coming week, we will be launching, and the invites will be sent out to all media houses for the launch. And everything else is in place. We are ready to host.
And do we have a target in terms of the race? Because I know it's quite a big race, not only in Gauteng, but even in the, if you look at some of the countries just outside or surrounding South Africa, it's quite a big race. In terms of the expected numbers, what are you looking for this time around?
Well, we are celebrating 30 years as the Soweto Marathon this year. And it is then normal that as organizing committee, we have targeted ourselves to at least get 30,000 participants to celebrate 30 years of the Soweto Marathon. So we are targeting 30,000 participants. We'll be giving out more information when we do the race launch.
Right, Jabu, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much for coming through to speak to us. Soweto Marathon spokesperson Jabu Mbuli just confirming that indeed the race will be taking place on the 30th of November 2025.